Last time you guys went from Alberzine after Cassandra showed that she was mass charming a bunch of people who were basically revolting due to a huge book burning. She changed the entirety of the crowd and then essentially disappeared. Afterwards, you guys went on, discussed with the guards, went on and rested, and while doing so, went to the battle bar to wait to head to get your incantations. While you guys were at the battle bar, you guys ran into Clement Clergy, who's an old founder, a counselor, excuse me, not a founder, and you went back and met Duger. While you were hanging out and all this was going on, you guys were kind of just relaxing and then went on and met a very, I'd say, different individual with Percy Poufon, who was trading with you and gave you guys some info about acquiring certain items. He told Orm about Takata and a certain, I'd say, tattoo that he can acquire, among other things, after then going to meet with Denistine Alore in the Council of the Collective. You know that after you walked down, after speaking with this elf who was proper in the manner upon receiving you when you walked in, you guys walked down and he basically taught you that companionship was what you were going to need to further your quest and to become stronger than you are basically alone. And that's where we're going to start, is where you guys were walking out of his sanctuary and back into the Council of the Collective. So at this point, you guys see the orange robe man of Denistine, and as he's walking out, you see as he walks on his staff, he turns. So, you have proven yourselves, and with that, I'm going to bestow upon you the incantations that you wish. You walk up the steps, and after a few moments, you head to a room where he walks over and he pulls back this huge wooden, somewhat like hidden door. As it slides open, you guys see tons of almost like scrolls and scriptures that are basically just protruding out of the wall. He moves his hand over. Choose which ones you wish. You notice that on these there's tons of different spells, and on these, basically your incantations. At this point, you guys have already made your choices, right? Or is you guys still doing them?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got them. So you guys basically take a few moments looking them over. You each grab your incantations and which ones you want. As you do so, you see that this magical bookshelf of scrolls essentially is binding these spells to you as you are reading them aloud. As Denistine sits there and you guys do so, he looks you over. So, your travels have brought you here, and upon this, you have learned many things, and I see that you have gone through some tough travels. Is there anything that I can do to help you before I ask in you aiding me?
There's a number of questions I have, and I only remember one of them.
About this curse.
If you know what you're talking about.
Can you do anything about curses?
Know some that could possibly help you. My magic does not stretch so far in that I could possibly ascertain what the curse is, or if you are cursed, but beyond that, I cannot give you much aid. You see this old kind of elder halfling, he just kind of makes it over and then takes a sit down, starts pouring some wine. After a few moments, so, you guys are the first group that has been able to make it through my testing. Many have become injured or even worse. Do you understand that if you are willing to take what some of these things I'm going to ask, you may come into some issues, some trouble. Kind of looks at you, and he already notices that you guys have already gone through some shit dealing with the rocks or whatever you've had to deal with coming to this point. I know that you have met with the heretics. Alondra has come and spoke with me. But what I really need to know is, how far are you willing to go down this journey? How far is this path truly willing to be taken by you all? Or do you have certain goals of your own that will overstride things that I may ask? He looks at you quite seriously.
Yeah, I was planning on bringing it. 'Cause so we do have our own goal, or at least a goal that we believe is of great importance. Perhaps that goal even aligns with yours. We were told by, I believe, Alondra, that you may know something of the gems.
As you say that, his eye, he kind of perks up. The gems.
Mm-hmm.
I know of these gems if you speak of... And he kind of walks over to another bookshelf as he gets up, and he pulls from the scroll, and you see him kind of look at it. They're quite ancient, miss, but I know that some of these things have been spoken of. Do you have information on them? What makes you speak of these gems?
He can do you one better.
They're not a...
Yes.
You know this to be true.
Yeah. In the past several weeks, we've been all over a continent and a half.
Why is he talking?
And most of it has to do with fleeing from the Rocks family. And that is because we have something that they want.
As you say that, he kind of... I don't like the rocks.
Me neither.
I'm going to be honest with you. While we are in these halls, you are safe to speak however you wish.
Sweet.
While we speak of this, though, I want you to understand that certain things within the Rocks family still not safe even here. They are not allowed and permitted here for a reason, but that does not mean that they do not have people that travel here. You think that you are still sought after, you must be safe still within these walls. Now, the gem you think is tied to the Rocks family.
Not inherently, but I know it is something that they greatly desire.
Oh, rumors also say they have one. And the other one's here.
So there's supposedly one of them is held by, split up amongst the council or something.
The Red Council?
I believe so, yes.
So what if I told you that I had interest in toppling the Rocks family?
Our interests are aligned.
And what if I tell you that I may know someone, if this gem is in Exwell like you say it? I think I know where some of it may be manifesting. If the power is true, that would answer a lot of questions as to...
We also have the power with us right now.
So I'm holding the box.
And as he's looking at this, what do you have there? He's quite curious now.
We have a gem that is
With you?
also corrupt by some other being that seems to be corrupting me. Red. The
As
red
you-
one absorbed the blue one.
Did
Yeah.
it? Oh.
Yeah. And as you do that, he takes his staff and
Oh yeah.
kind of just looks down and tips it a little lower because he's quite short. Feel the power that comes from that. So, how is it corrupting you?
Kind of takes me over almost. Inebriates me.
You still
Takes
travel,
away my will. Gives me visions.
and you feel safe traveling with it still.
That's why we're asking questions, because it's kind of fucking him up pretty bad.
Have you tried potting with it at all?
Well, we until now we haven't had anybody that like we could trust with it.
I'm not sure if I know someone that you could trust with it.
This? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna have to beat him up to take it from him.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh shit.
Plus side, he turned his armor and weapons in a bit ago, so
Would be the time to go.
now's the time.
And at this point, you basically just see Perrin after a moment. He just kind of goes out front. Not, I guess, interested in him and Ellie, just seem to wander off.
Jesus.
Christ. Oh, yeah. Catch a ride. All right, anyway, sorry. So, Denistine, he looks. I have something that may interest both of us then. You wish to topple the rocks, possibly. Or at least get them off your back. I have things that kind of need done.
Oh wait, yeah, I'm gonna be completely candid with all of my information. We also have to like kind of murder a lady.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, we're totally cursed.
Yeah. We crossed Cryptic Bridge, Cryptic Pass.
I've heard some stories.
When we met the guy named after Cryptic.
Thought he died a long time ago.
No, he's a shadow demon necromancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you say that, he's
Yeah, he has full control over the bridge.
takes another drink.
It was
Takes full control of the bridge and takes the souls of the people that die there.
basically damned if you do, damned if you don't.
He kind of made an ultimatum.
We drifted away. We could.
This is the curse that you speak of.
He has a hit list.
He was banished from the school.
So you mean the students that came back have passed my tests, are being haunted, or at least corralled in some way by some shadow demon?
Yeah, he told us he had.
He kind of looks down for a moment and just.
You could probably do a quick filter and find which ones. Seeing the ones that pass through Cryptic's Pass specifically, just
So-
like narrow it down.
Who do you have to kill?
At this point in time, it is an individual who I don't know about your standards, but I know. Oh, I'm sure he knows who he is. It's just whether or not he wants him dead is a whole different question. More or less an enemy of heretics. I don't know if that does anything for you. Her name is Cassandra Volt.
As you say that, he kind of doesn't seem too caught off guard. Makes you want to kill her. Other than this curse, do you think you can do it?
I think
Well,
we can
plus
do
side,
it.
she like mind fucked us and tried to kill us twice.
She does that.
We had no intentions of killing this woman. until we were cursed.
I would actually prefer not to kill her. But
That's why, like, I kind of feel guilty about, like, kind of might be able to kill the curse.
What if there was a way we could break this curse?
Then yes, that's what we're looking for. Yeah.
But at the same time, he promised me to be a better lich.
But what happens if we break the curse? Is there...
You want freedom or power? Choose.
It's real hard.
Doesn't mean that they won't just put another puppet in her place.
Scratches his bald head.
We think
Yes,
she's
true.
We think she's a little.
Who do you think's puppeteering her? Okay,
cursed
so
herself.
let me be honest. And he kind of looks around. He notices there's no maids, no one around. He goes over, and in the side room that you guys are in, he kind of closes these large double doors as they come across. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't going to tell you all of this, but you seem to be a little bit ahead of most here in Exwell.
Yeah.
There are things that have been going on over the past, I'd say 2 years, maybe even longer, but I may have been blind to it and not have been paying attention. I think that the Red Council has very corrupt sway here in Exwell somehow. I think they've been slowing the inventions and the, I don't know, prosperous minds of some of the young individuals that are trying to create some of these great inventive ideas, halting the prosperous ideas that could be happening here, and even holding some of them, I think, alone for themselves. They aren't sharing them with any of the other regions. Why do we create such great inventions to hold them for ourselves? It doesn't make sense. You would think after some time we would be selling them, doing something, but we're not. We seem to have just stopped. I tried to investigate the Red Council myself, and I was stonewalled by tons of paperwork and was told that if I investigated any further, I was going to be seen as possible treason. Stopped, and that was the last of it.
Maybe these inventions have something to do with them in search for the gems.
I need to know why Cassandra's on Cryptic's list as well as mine. I don't want her dead, but let me just tell you that I've been working with the heretics, and I have been told that they are investigating certain meetings that have been happening. These meetings, they've been happening in a forest nearby, in between here and New All. It's a short journey. It's known as the Controverse Volt. Don't let this be told outside these walls, but there have been secret meetings supposedly with your Miss Cassandra, and she has been meeting with supposedly individuals that have been in this new inventive technology. Don't know what it is. We don't know what it entails. If we are willing to work together, you are going to be, say, students of mine. If you think those incantations are... Let me tell you that I have information on certain things of great power that can help you become stronger. Can help your group of adventuring party become a band of brothers and sisters that are going to fight and die together. In time, we can work together to achieve both one. He's being very serious as he looks across, but I need cooperation. When you are here, I need you to try not to use your magic in an ill way. Do not kill recklessly. I am, and he looks over, a Titian robe, and he looks, and this is orangish robe, and he kind of resembles this. The collective council, we wear this. We are kept in secret. I am the only one who initiates. The rest, no one even knows. We work in secret, keeping the guilds and many of the Democrats as well as the anarchists, and he kind of thinks to himself, the Rock's family of dictatorships in line the best we can. But lately we have been falling short. I need you to figure out what is going on with Cassandra. The heretics told me not to worry about it. That does not sit with me. I need to know what is going on. I cannot wait. They are having meetings. Maybe the heretics are in on it. I don't trust anyone right now. I also need to know what is going on with some inventions. We have had some inventory come up missing recently that some of the guilds and the towns have reported. They thought they miscounted some of their machinery and some of their equipment, but upon double checking, they have found it has come up missing. Along with a murder that happened just last night. Beneath the Hall Temple, you to go and investigate. No one has yet to set foot or figure out what is going on. They think that it was a suicide attempt. It is in the basement of a temple next to some of the coffins. After looking around, though, I think that something else happened. Kicked out, though, once many of the gods' men arrived. Go try and ascertain what happened with this murder. I do not think this was a suicide. Figure out what Cassandra is truly up to. We know that she is going to be meeting either at her manor within the next day or two, or possibly in a forest north, about 4 to 5 days travel. Now, we are going to work together. I need to know we are going to be on equal terms. We share information both ways.
Cryptic informed me that there was like a book on necromancy. You have any news on that?
I'm sorry, I do not know, but many of the libraries here, if you look, may shed more information on what you are looking for. It's cryptic. Is he still a man?
No, he's a shadow demon necromancer.
He rubs his face.
He didn't faint.
It could have been an illusion.
You tell that the alcohol is starting to kick in slowly. So, one more business. I will let you be on your way. There's an individual known as a young tiefling that has gone missing. Many have gone looking, but over the weeks, stopped.
What color was this tiefling?
Slips my mind, but I think his name was Teldris. I know him to be a student.
Recently, I met a tiefling.
I was there.
He was formerly enrolled in this very school.
Kind of looks at you.
He fled south.
Remember what he was fleeing from.
He knew that there was something dark brewing within the school.
Yeah, he was spooked by some shit.
And after a brief examination, it was apparent that his memory had been manipulated. Parts of kind of experiment, some of his work had essentially been removed from him. It does not remember the fucking details at all. My brain's fucking fried.
Do you remember who he was working with?
He said all relevant information for the project, besides knowing it happened,
was going about the conversation.
So, that very little that was left with his mind.
Yeah, and that spooked him, so he bounced.
So he's still alive. We can think. This is same tiefling.
Did he say something about like? I just thought he said something about like.
He was a red thief.
Yeah, I was thinking he had said something about like fucking like. I don't know if it was necromancy specific. It was had something to do with like. I'm just getting flesh, tentacles.
He kind of knew. I'll tell you a little bit about what. Give me an intelligence check.
Like, I don't. Ryan. That should be
Mango, lime.
That's
let me check.
That's gonna be a 20.
I got a different flavor.
You basically ascertain that he kind of remembers that it had to do with possible some sort of abomination, magic, or some sort of toxin that was changing elements
Okay.
of not only non-living but living.
I remember the abomination thing. That's why I'm thinking.
And that's where the abomination. He was like, it was creating some sort of abomination. He didn't know what it was, and it was changing, things that were dead into almost like fleshless creatures.
That explains why I'm just seeing Pudge from Dota.
Yeah. Oh, and and some
Or stitches from Next Ramen.
and many living life forms that basically couldn't were becoming.
Yeah.
And he was watching plants die in mass just instantly that were being, basically provoked or touched or being around or basically exposed to this toxin. You do remember that he also wore a Exwell student kind of tabard still, even though he was trying to cover it up. Denistine kind of ponders this for a moment, and then after a long pause, and the room's quiet for a minute. So what do we do next? If I'm to lead you and help you, I can get you in contact with many people, individuals that are greater than me. They can further your journey in whatever you are trying to do. You just need to do things right. I can help you with possible coin and or items down the road, as long as our agreement together that we work with is very, let's say, compelling. As long as we are on good terms, I don't see why this can't be a great friendship. Now, between the Red Council and Cassandra and this possible murder, what do we think are more pertinent to our immediate goals?
Honestly, it'd probably be Cassandra. We have business. The heretics have business. You have business. Seems everyone has business with Cassandra Volt. While the council may be a bigger threat, they're probably a slower threat. If they're a threat now.
And the murder can help be solved if we just wait a bit. I could learn the spell Speak with Dead. And that would probably help us a lot in solving a murder.
That would be very beneficial. How long would it take you to get that? We could possibly go see the mortician, see if the body's still there. How long? What do you need? What are the prerequisites?
I would need a library, specifically that has spells.
Could possibly find you one, but we are going to need a reason at this hour, as it's very late at this point, to get in. If we tell them...
Can you schedule us an appointment and then...
Early in the morning, yes, I can get us in.
Okay, so until then we'll try to figure out. I think we should wait for his armor too. So we have... And once we get the spell, while I'm learning it, we can go... Cassandra stuff.
Excuse me.
All right.
So if you have connections, we currently have the gem contained within a lead box, and it seems to not be fully functional.
What does it do?
The lead box of the gem?
Well, no, the gem, you say it's corrupting you. How? You won't give it up, I see that. You won't also willingly attach yourself to it.
I don't think he's willingly attached at all anymore. Like, probably at the beginning.
It calls to me. Excuse me. It doesn't harm me. Like physically, it does not harm me. I think that has to do something with my dragon. Because it harms somebody else in our party. Hurts somebody. Hurt.
I mean, it was essentially forged by a guy named Draconius.
And
So-
also,
It
we've
doesn't-
heard about the
it
gems
doesn't
they hold a dragon
physically
soul.
hurt me.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's warm to the touch. It does not physically hurt me.
Have you shown that to a certain nobody?
Well, there was a lapidary.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's one other guy.
What about an individual known as Percy Buffon?
No.
I know he's
No.
crazy, I know.
No, we're
But
not.
the man has seen
We're not.
quite a few things.
We're not gonna give a doomsday device to a method.
We don't have to give it to him.
Yeah, but I don't know if I trust him even at knowing that.
Wait a minute, if his reputation is that bad, do people believe what he says?
He's crazy. Not a lot of people believe him, but that's because they think he's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we probably get away with telling him.
So who's gonna believe it?
Exactly.
But you also see the lines outside of his shop. So people also believe in what he sells. Which means enough people go in and out of his shop, enough people might start believing what he's saying. Doesn't mean all of them need to, but I'd say we stay away from that if you're just unsure. That sounds like a bad idea. So Cassandra,
Sounds like a last resort.
what's our angle on Cassandra? We need to find her either at her home, or maybe when she's at this meeting. We don't have an exact location, though. We just know the forest and around the time that we think it's happening. We know that she's working with associates here in Exwell, but we don't know who. We think she has also associates in other regions, but we can't figure them out either. We don't know her ties, and we don't know anything. That is why I've been holding these initiations.
Wait, didn't the Whisper of the Gem tell you that she was like you?
No. No.
Yeah, it was.
What do you mean?
You told us, well, not Meta.
I told you what's going on.
You
guys
told
were in
him-
a trance.
No, yeah, then you were in a trance when she left.
This sounds vague.
I was never in trance.
No, he passed the save.
Yes, and it was because she tried to influence him that the gem
Right.
was like, like the gem was like, oh, I know what this is about. I think that he's onto something.
But he recognized
The
it.
gem-
The gem recognized her.
Yeah, and it like
That's all he
it
noticed.
Just laughed.
Yes.
Yes, it
That's
laughed
what it
at
was.
her.
It just
yes.
gave a deep
Well, that's still.
It almost seemed like it petted her attempt to charm him.
Oh, okay.
Is
Oh,
the
then-
insinuation maybe?
Okay. That's what we must have missed that. Because I think the way I took it was what Wade was talking about is that she is similarly influenced.
That's kind of what I was thinking. The
Yeah,
gem was
that
recognizing her power.
I mean, maybe. I'm not saying anything. I'm just
She's
saying
acting-
That's what I thought.
She's acting like he would be in 30 years of holding this thing.
Sure.
I mean, possibly. Yeah.
I don't know.
Could be soon.
I mean, you guys don't know. I'm not gonna fucking give it to you.
No idea.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Because he knew her before,
I knew that.
and she was a completely different person.
some kind of.
Yeah. What do you guys think a good attack would be? A plan of attack on Miss Cassandra.
To kill her?
I mean,
He said he would prefer not
Unless we can get rid of this curse, I don't think we can.
he's trying to. Denistine is just trying to figure out what she's doing.
Mhm.
What you guys want to do?
So, we've been in contact with the heretics as well. They've similarly kept us, wished us to be off hands. You know, if they have any current plans of attack.
I know that they are watching them. That's how I learned the information of the meeting in the forest. I know that her manor is supposedly, and he kind of rubs his forehead, off limits, but been walking by there quite frequently, trying to catch a few snips, seeing if I can find anything that's going on there. It's quite quiet lately. And I've not even seen her there in quite some time. It's quite odd. I don't know when she comes or goes, but she still is here in Exwell and is doing business like anything else.
I wouldn't call it she's doing business.
Listen, she lost her husband a couple years back. Since then, she hasn't been right. And about 2 years ago, I started suspecting something was off with her when I realized that her aging, some of her mannerisms had changed. She was off from how I knew her. I didn't say anything, and many haven't, but there's not much that excuse you, young Dragonborn. There's not too many things that, I guess, surprise me anymore, but to each their own is their secrets. I'm not to poke unless I need to. But now that there are these abominations running through the lands and rocks hold such a position over so many, I find it just odd that so many people seem to just bow to Rock's leadership, and that so many don't ask questions as to how do we fix these abominations from happening. Why do we rely on just the rocks to deal with the abominations? We are Exwell. We have created so many great inventions. Why are we not helping?
Do you want my tinfoil theory about the rocks?
Yes.
They're in control of the abominations.
I think there's something within that holds.
Because 100% they have like complete monopoly on travel without going through the death bridges around. Which means like they're making a shitload of money and mostly probably also control the amount of information that goes between continents. And just brown people out with propaganda. How in the fuck is someone from Geom gonna know that the rocks are like
they're not
killing all their fucking men fighting
exactly
abominations?
And by the time they hear the information, it's too late and it's been changed. So I say we have too much on our plate for just one day. How about we break it up and figure out what to do? Maybe take a night. Rest. Meet in the morning. And maybe take a stroll by Miss Cassandra's place. See if there's anything interesting. Anything that maybe catches your eye. Maybe something I missed. If not, come back. And I can maybe help you with a plan of action and what to do next. We are really wanting to go after Cassandra. There are many things you need to figure out. And if you find time, maybe go by the temple as well. Figure out what's going on with that murder. They're calling it a suicide, but let's be honest. Nothing's just a suicide. Especially when...
Well, how was the body found?
We don't know, and that's what's suspicious. It's being somewhat, I'd say, covered up. I asked for information, and I was there quite shortly after the murder was even found out. And yet the body was gone, and it seemed as if nobody had seen anything. I asked some of the guards, and they only knew that the body had been taken to the mortician. That was all they knew.
Do you know who died?
I do not. I've been not able to gather any information. The case seems to have been quite close to the Red Council's chest for some reason. It is above my clearance, and without getting my hands dirty, I cannot gather any more information.
Oh yeah, and if the rumors of them having a gem is correct, they're probably under the same influence that fuck this is under right now.
Well, they are under a power trip, that's for sure. They have been in rule for far too long, and that is something that needs to change here as well.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing. Because I heard back before, they were rather lenient.
2 to 4, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they get this gem,
It's been close to 75.
Yeah.
and 75 years later, nothing's changed.
Agreed.
So it seems related.
It's definitely... I'm glad that somebody's putting it together as well.
Yeah.
Now, I need to get some rest, and I have a couple initiates coming by in the morning, and I must teach a couple classes, but after that, come back and tell me what you found at Cassandra's. And if you are able to swing by the Hall Temple, let me know if anything is off, or if you see anybody or anything. But until then, have a great night. And one more thing. We're going to be working together. What is a name that I can call your group by? I have heard go by the Shits.
We go by a lot of different.
I've heard the Moonlight Mandrakes.
That's a good one. I like that. But
Or was it the Marauders?
it is the Marauder.
That's
Ah,
what we're calling ourselves now.
are you sticking with that?
I still feel like Puglywugs is pretty good, but Moonlight Marauders, I believe.
Speaking of this lapidary, is he still traveling with you? Last you know, he left off in the town and was just
Yeah.
edging out.
As far as we know.
He's close at hand.
We're supposed to be
Which-
meeting up with him.
Actually brings me back to a point that we kind of skipped. You know several people. We have a lead box. Lead box doesn't work to properly contain gem. You find something that would properly contain the gem. If not, a means to repair its original casing forged by Draconius himself. This lapidary is essentially a descendant of Draconius. So with the school's funding and support, at least some whatever you can manage, perhaps you can make a progress.
I may not be able to help you with that, but I would say seek out the headmaster. Might be able to lead you in a way, or know someone that can help you possibly seal that gem.
I mean, don't we have to make it faster anyway for something else?
Eventually. I mean, yeah, just to say hi.
I have to.
Other than that, not quite sure who is proficient in such sealant magic. That is quite a difficult magic, especially to seal something quite of that power and magnitude. I can even feel it from here as we just sit. I can only believe what it does to you for how long you've been around it. Now, is there anything else before I bid you a good night? Well, till tomorrow, or next time I see you. Be safe and have a great one. He gets up and he kind of leads you out of the collective council, and as you guys do so,
I'm gonna grab my weapons.
Yep, you grab all your stuff, and upon doing so, you leave. You notice that as you turn, the streets are completely, pretty much pitch black. There's some lights that somewhat illuminate around you, but you see that as you're outside of the council of the collective, it's quite quiet.
What
Guys,
time is it?
I'd say midnight, maybe a little past. Very late. You guys have been talking and going over things for a couple hours.
It'd be about time for my armor.
So
It was like 11:30.
Yep,
tonight
it was
when
a
we were there.
little past midday. You wanna swing by and see if they're open? Alright, so you guys swing by. It's about 25 minute jaunt. After doing so, you notice that on the outside there's a large box that has your name on it. Shop's closed, but as you go up, you see the name, and as you do so, you definitely you pick it up, and as you do so, the almost sheath of the cloth kind of just drapes by, and it's sitting there, and seems to have a small little note that says, "The business. Come by again. Till next time. Don't
That was-
die."
Don't die.
Yeah.
That was yeah. What's it?
Percy.
Percy's.
Percy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because he went and basically got that, and John's cloak is the only thing that isn't. But everybody else is.
It's B17.
Yep. Now,
I'm wearing a fucking school uniform and I'm still better than you.
as you guys go by the shop, roll me a perception check.
That's good.
21.
19.
Fucking 23.
So as you guys go by, you definitely hear some clanking around, very somewhat quietly, but not quiet enough. You can hear that there is someone in the shop, even though it is closed. That is all.
This is Percy's shop, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Percy Puffons!
Let's see if it's him. What if it's not
I'm-
him?
I mean, if you're that concerned, we can. Like,
Do we want to say anything about this to him?
I wasn't planning on it. So we're like, you said that shit's like closed up. There's no like window.
There's a couple windows around. You look around. It's like a single-story shop, but
Can I,
you notice that there's a couple windows.
Can I like walk up and see if there's a window that I can see into the store?
Yeah, you can see it's completely black on the inside. As you kind of peer up and look, give me a stealth check.
Okay. 15.
All right. As you do so, you make your way. You get close and you kind of peer up. As you kind of get next to the window, you kind of hear the window kind of creak a little bit as you put your hands on it. And as you do so,
I
it
need
kind
to
of
open it. I just want to look.
No, it doesn't open. You're just kind of looking in, just
Yeah.
a wooden kind of mantle
Okay.
as you pull yourself up. And as it does so, you notice that there's a dark individual inside, a little taller than Percy being, and you just see it stop for a moment. It kind of glances around. Its back is to you. It's completely black. You just see almost like a silhouette. And as you see this, after a moment, you go back and it looks like it's rummaging through something. You wait another minute or two, and you see it goes through and you see a couple of drawers. You hear it drop something. It clangs onto the ground. This is definitely not. You notice after a moment, it seems to be about a 6 to 6'5" individual. Quite stouty in shoulder width and a little bit muscular by the form, but with the bare minimum of light, you can't really get a make out or any coloration or anything other than just like a dark silhouette.
Okay. So
Wait a minute.
he doesn't know I'm there.
Why is he only seeing a silhouette?
Is he?
Because it's dark in there.
Is it only within? Is he within 60 feet?
No, not from you.
No.
Okay.
Well, and the window is kind of barring your vision just a little bit. Like
It's
he's
like
I don't care about the
window?
dark vision.
Huh?
I was
Like
gonna
it's
cast a
still painted
spell.
window?
No, it's more like he's got some kind of cloth that is pulled down a little bit, and you're just kind of able to just kind of
Yeah.
peer through just part of the crack that's happening on the
Gotcha.
outside. You're not just on a big open window just glaring through.
So it's just normal glass.
Yeah. Plus you have some of the lantern light on the outside kind of bouncing reflective off, so it's a little hard to
Yeah. No. I just want to see if I have any spells that reach it.
I do. Looking.
I'd say you're about 50 feet away. Higher.
Create bonfire.
I fairy fire. 60 feet, so I can just light the room.
Oh, and then he can't hide.
Correct. So if he's 50 feet away,
Like a huge escalation for something you don't know is going on.
it doesn't do any damage. Just light the room. It would each object, it's not even a creature, in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in a harmless blue, green, or violet light. Any creature in the area must make a dex save, which I don't know what unseen. Because he doesn't know I'm there. I don't know if he would make that a disadvantage or what. I don't know how that works. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius, so it would light the room.
Yep.
Anytime, yeah.
What you doing?
If he's within range, I'm gonna fucking cast Fairy Fire on top of him, and so everything just lights up. Let's go with fucking green.
Okay. Green.
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah.
So you're kind of sitting there. You
And
see
then-
this side going on, and then you're just kind of like, and you just drop it, and you see it drop whatever's going on. And he turns around, everything just boom, illuminates green, and as you see this red-skinned hobgoblin.
Oh.
You see him with like this black sleeve up on like a knot pulled back with two like daggers, kind of pinning it together.
Yeah.
In like black darkened leather.
Yeah.
You see a little bit of metal with like some sort of hood that is not over his head yet, and he's turning around, bright
How
yellow
tall is
eyes.
this guy?
About 6'2".
That's fucking huge for a hobgoblin.
Yep,
Take your word for it.
it is.
Hobgoblins are usually like around
5.
4 to 5.
Yeah.
You breaking in? We're
I
gonna break
mean,
in,
somebody's
stop
already
breaking.
breaking in.
So we're gonna stop breaking?
So we're stopping a break-in by breaking in.
Sure. Smash the window.
Okay, so give me a attack roll.
Oh, but wait, stop.
No, just go ahead. You're doing it. Go. You already said it. He's doing it. Yeah, he's doing it.
Okay, 18 plus fucking 6.
All right, roll for damage. So you go up and you hit it with your elbow.
Fucking sure.
All right, so you go.
Or my staff, one of the two or something. Yeah, I'll go with the fucking fist, right? 2 plus 3 is fucking 5 bloody damage.
Okay, so as you slam into it and you crack it a little bit, it doesn't blow through. And at this moment, you hear it kind of caverns through, making this loud noise. He now immediately turns directly towards you. He sees you breaking in. He turns, he throws up his hood, and he starts jolting towards the back of the room. You see him go into some sort of back room, and then in a moment, he's out of vision. What do you guys do?
Alright. Well, fucking. Use my bonus action. I mean, I don't know if we're in initiative or anything.
No, we're not. You guys are
Smack
acting.
again.
Just
While he's
whatever you guys are doing, just take turns.
Did
Like,
you
just-
attack him or something?
No, so he casted Fairy Fire, illuminated the room in green. You found out that it is a
Hobgoblin.
hobgoblin that is large. It's about 6'2", it's way bigger than a normal hobgoblin. It immediately drops what it was carrying, turns around and sees Orem taking his elbow and beating, trying to break in on the window. He doesn't do so. Doesn't break through on his first attack. Immediately alerting him, and you see him run to the back door, or the back of a room, completely out of sight now. Don't know what's going on. What do you do?
Yeah,
I want it before he attacks. I want to summon undead.
Okay.
I'm gonna summon my ghosty.
Okay.
I'm gonna summon it to like the door he went into.
Inside, do you have to have vision? Yeah. Okay, you can see it.
No, now the ghost is there,
Yes.
and I want the ghost. I'm gonna command the ghost to move through the door.
Okay. There's no door. It's kind of like an opening. It's not closed.
Move, well,
corner.
move
Yeah.
through it.
Okay, so
I want him to move until he has 40 feet.
all right, so you
movement.
summon this ghost and you kind of command it, and it starts kind of moving just around, and it starts going into the doorway. As it does so, what does it do?
I want him to look for the green lighted.
All right, you see it go inside of this doorway. After a few moments, doesn't seem to find anything. After about, I'd say, maybe 30 seconds, you guys hear
I want the
sounds
ghost to
from
go
the
to that.
back side. See the ghost form go towards the back of the room, out of sight. After about 5, maybe 10 seconds, you hear a lot. After the back, that's all you hear.
During that whole time, he was still all the way lit up too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys just don't see it. It's on the back side.
Yeah,
You guys are like,
What is
I'm able to
that?
tell if my ghost is. Because I'm concentrating on the ghost.
Can you see through your ghost?
No, but I can get base signals from it.
Can you?
Yes, because I can attack things with it out of my line
What
of
does
sight.
it say? What does it say?
It's
your
a
ghost can
creature.
do? Right. So you're just
And I
summoning,
can command it regardless.
and that's what it did. It followed in command. You don't know what it's doing.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I have to concentrate on the spell to use it, Connor.
And you are commanding it to attack, which
And-
it's doing. You don't
and
know
it
what
ha-
it's
and
doing.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
How wouldn't I?
Because you gave it a command. I've looked this up. This is a very specific thing. You commanded it to go and attack, and that's what it's doing. You don't know what it's doing.
As soon as I hear clattering around the back,
It'll keep attacking until you literally
Change the
dies or change the command. That's all you know. You don't have vision or any knowledge outside of that.
as soon as I hear clattering around the back, I'm gonna go towards the back.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
was gonna run towards
you guys got like a 15-foot jaunt around. You guys run around, and at this moment, you literally see a hobgoblin with his back running away. You see a ghost form kind of seeping back into a window to dissipate.
How close are we?
About 35 feet now. You see him just booking it away on the long side of the building. He kind of has left the side of the building, running across the street. You see he's about maybe 10, 15 feet from another building.
So is my ghost gone?
From what you can tell, yes.
I'm going. He's not. Yeah, he's only like 35, 40 feet, 5 feet away. I'm gonna cast whole person.
Okay, what is it?
Uh,
Oh wait, I needed a dex save on the fairy fire.
yeah, you did.
I failed, so good thing.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's a DC 16
I
wisdom
failed.
save.
Failed.
He is paralyzed. He
All right,
can't
so
move.
you see him and he just
Yeah.
tightens up, and you see, and then.
Yeah. So I'm gonna fucking just run up on this guy.
All right, so you two just run around. Are you going with him?
Yeah.
All right, so you book around. You make through. You see the window just blasted out as you run by. You come up. You see this now getting closer. Reddish sheened, sweaty covered hobgoblin, bulged, ripped. You notice that he has veins pulsating outside of him. He sits there. He starts struggling even harder, but it seems to not have any avail. You turn around. He looks over at your eyes. What do you want? Now, does anybody? You guys will speak.
I have rope. I'm gonna start tying this guy up.
All right. So after I'd say about a minute or two, he kind of resists, but you're able to get some decent ties on him.
Can I aid him in the ties?
You wish to? Yeah.
Make him tighter? Use my strength?
Okay.
It's whatever, Brian. It's whatever. However tight.
So
you
yeah. So you can tell it's pretty tight. I mean, this guy's pretty stacked, so they're tight though. It should probably last for a little bit. So you now have them. What are you guys doing?
Who the fuck are you?
I'm not telling you anything. Who the fuck are you?
I'm not telling you anything
All right, well then why are you fucking paralyzing me and chasing me?
because I know that you're not the owner of that establishment.
Neither are you.
At this
Right.
moment, I'm going to use Fearful Presence on him. He needs to make a DC 16 Wisdom save.
Okay, failed.
Okay, he's frightened.
At this
I'm
point,
gonna take my greatsword and just hold it at his neck.
you see this large hulking hobgoblin just start in like a terrifying. Oh god! All right. I've done some awful things, and I'm just trying to get out of town. I was in there looking for some magical goods. I know that he has the fucking best items in all of Exwell. Oh, great price, and I was just seeing if anything good was in there. Saw at the door, and there was some armor left out front. I took some of the other, and you see now as you're closer, he's got like some new stuff that.
Wait, is he wearing armor?
Yeah,
Isn't that your armor?
no, not his.
I got
No. He's got his, but it looks like
Okay.
maybe from other customers, some like basic materials and stuff that were made. You also see like some small basic trinkets and gadgets that he probably stole. Just, I wanted to get out of town. What? So let me leave. What do you want with me?
Where you going? Why are you leaving in a hurry?
Give me a persuasion check or an intimidation check. Up to you.
Con plus 3.
20.
Oh. Got some blood on my hands. And, to say, was trying to, but
Wait,
was
did
out
you
of
kill
my...
like some random person?
Yeah, yeah, all right.
Over by the temple?
And as you say, something terrified of you.
I
Ah,
didn't put that together.
yeah. I was tricked. Told by a gentleman that, I was supposed to go and just look in the basement. And it'd be some fucking money or some gold, and all I know is I went there. Find nothing but a fucking snitch waiting on me, telling me that I owed him money, or my head would be hanging from the wall. I told that little rocks fucker that he could just go fuck himself. I wasn't paying him shit. You know what he told me? Fuck off. You know what I gave him? Good old fucking dagger, did I? But after that, I realized that wasn't me. I wouldn't have just killed someone when I was in his presence. Something came over me. Something. And he looks at his body. Something wasn't right. I don't feel good. Sweating. Just want to get out of town. I wouldn't have killed him, but I don't know. Kept talking and I just became so irritated. Told me that he wanted me to do some business if I couldn't pay him back. Didn't agree with that. I don't know what happened. All I know is his blood was on my hands. I just need...
Amy, I have like a little notebook and I'm like, check murderer.
Yeah, like,
Question mark turn in? Question mark?
Now, what do you want with me? Why won't you just let me leave?
you said you were set up by a gentleman?
I was.
Do you have a name besides Rocksucker?
Well, the Rockfucker's the guy killed.
Give me a intimidation or persuasion check. And this
Is
can
that
be...
advantage?
You can, yes.
It's awful. 18.
Ben?
Go 17. I also
Man.
am frightened.
Not saying.
Man.
So, unfortunately for you, we've actually just been asked to investigate the murder of an unknown individual in the basement.
This moment you see him kind of try to break free one more time. Nothing.
So, you're not getting out of town.
What are you, the fucking police of this? I thought the guards were the walls. Here they are, and I'm...
No, unfortunately for you, we actually might be worse. See, when I see you, I don't see a criminal. I see an idiot. But I see an idiot that is going to get me money and or rewards.
Now, as you sit here, give me a perception or investigation check. Either or.
Is this a whole person?
Yes.
I don't like that. I mean, it only lasts for a
Well, no, I mean,
Gross.
he's still bound. He's still bound. He's not under control of the spell.
He's restrained.
Shit. Perception, fucking 12.
You can tell, I would say that these holdings are starting to maybe weaken. Been moving, getting mad.
Oh, I know I'm
You
gonna
can
do.
start seeing that he's got something on his back. As you kind of look to maybe tighten his restraints once more,
Mm-hmm.
you look over and there's like almost this little bulbous, like ball kind of growing back, but you can see it visibly, like per second, growing. Yes, see it start almost turning like a bright red, dark red. I mean, he's got reddish skin already, but the bright, dark hue of this is somewhat cautious. He looks at you. What are you looking at back there?
It looks like you're about to explode.
You notice he's sweating.
So,
And I mean sweating. What do you mean?
You think freezing it would help?
I mean, it looks like a big boil.
Do something if I got what's on my back.
We'll attempt.
You notice that it's starting to get like bigger than a fucking basketball.
I'm gonna get real close to this thing.
Okay, as you get close, give me an investigation or a perception check.
I don't want to know what it is.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I want to get like, I'm gonna be like, this is gonna hurt a little bit, but hopefully this helps.
Okay.
And I'm gonna frost fingers,
Right.
like directly on it.
Okay, and I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw. So as you go up and you touch it,
18.
you feel this thing is hot. You subside and you finger touch and you chill through it. As you do so, it seems to harden for a moment.
Well, this is a level 1 spell.
Right.
I'm using like a big ice spell.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that it kind of hardens for a moment. And then after about 30 seconds go by, hardens. Another minute. What's going on back there?
So,
I don't know how
we
long
could have
it's
saved your life.
Another 30 seconds go by.
Oh, yeah?
Still seems to be holding.
So,
Turns out.
so it's just frozen, kind of. But explain exactly what's happening.
Another 30 seconds go by. You see that it starts slowly subsiding. It starts sweating almost again. And it starts increasing. Now, hardened on the outside, bulbating and like almost increasing in other forms. Like pushing out in other directions around from where you just hardened it. You see it kind of pushing out, forcing its way out, growing other huge heads to this, almost like pulsating in other directions.
This guy's fucked.
What is going on back there?
Okay, so this is gonna suck. I just want you to know that. But I'm gonna go all out on this. I didn't roll the damage for how much that did.
Roll it. That matters.
I'm gonna like jab my sword, kind of press it into his neck a little more, and just be like, "Who set you up?"
Oh, God. Oh, God. You notice that he's focused, but
13 damage.
okay. It was a man. He works here in Exwell. You notice he's under immense pressure. He's in pain. It was a professor. He works here. I'm not sure of his name. And you notice he's
At this
sweating.
point, I'm gonna start firing Ray of Cold.
Does that do damage?
Yeah. This
How much
small.
damage? How much damage?
Does he have any colors?
2d8. That's not small.
Colors, boy. Colors.
Description now.
I don't care about his name. I don't care about his name.
7.
I'm not sure, but he recruited me from the Black Rose. That's all I know.
Does the cold help though?
How much damage?
7.
So as you do this, you touch it, and this thing just, and it starts just erupting. You see this pus just explode out. This big purple just explode, not only all over you. Give me a Constitution saving
Alright,
throw.
I'm gonna disengage at this point. And just,
As you see, you guys just kind of take a step back.
18.
You see this huge explosion erupt out of his back, and then the other ones.
is there
They
like
start
a
growing
barrel
smaller.
or a crate?
Smaller.
Is he,
Little
Wow,
dots.
That one's still alive.
He's still alive. You see him, his arm and his shoulder start growing up. Oh, what is happening? My back. You see his arm and then his face. It just starts contorting a huge pressure. And then you just see, and his head just erupts in the middle of the street. Underneath the darkness, just all over the walls and out towards Percy's shop and on the street. Just purple blood mixed with red tinged. You see his body erupt, and then his arm and everything just slunch over on the inside, and then his body just fall.
Well, I'm gonna start taking those trinkets he stole off the ground.
You look through. He has a bunch
I'm
of
just like
yeah.
What was your Constitution saving throw?
18.
You're good. You notice that it kind of like stings your body. You take 1 point of damage, nothing much. As it kind of like stings, you see these purple like blood movements and ink trying like seep onto your bones, but then they latch on to nothing. Noticing there's no skin or nothing to like latch onto. And then it tries once more. It tries to maybe like corrode or maybe eat away something, and then nothing, and it just subsides and drips off.
Have purple blood?
I am a doctor, so
Do they have purple blood?
no.
Yeah.
I'm the doctor. So,
Gotta
what do you
understand
guys
his
do?
bodies, so I can.
Yeah.
Well,
You guys
I
know
think
Well,
I think we can cut the ropes and.
yeah, the ropes.
Yeah, we should salvage that.
So you go over to the ropes and you see his shoulders and
Just,
his
like,
arms
bring
are
them out.
no longer attached. They're just like detached over by themselves from the separate of the main body.
So we don't
You
even
just
have to
kinda-
cut the rope.
Oh, you do. You go over and you just cut off his hands, and you have now just 2 separated arms laying on the ground.
Yeah, what about those trinkets and stuff, though?
You gather up some trinkets. Nothing seems to be of value. A couple small,
I'm
like
gonna
broken
take,
watches.
Like whatever armor he took.
Give me an investigation check.
I'm gonna detect magics.
Whatever.
Full on detect magic.
28.
You do notice that it seems there's one ring out of everything that might have some value. You look at it and it seems as if it has like an empty void in the top of it. As you kind of look, it kind of fits on your finger and it changes to fit your bone finger like perfectly. And take it off and it like resizes it back up a little bit and you're like,
So it's magic.
Can I Arcana check
Is
this
there-
ring?
Is there
You
anything
can't.
else magic?
not that you can tell, no. Nothing of value, just seems like maybe 5 to 10 gold worth of just shit.
26.
Okay.
I want to take his armor.
You're not quite sure. It definitely has some sort of magical or I'd say device to it or some sort. You can't really tell.
Whatever, like clothing items, armor,
You're gonna need like a detect or a identifier.
armor.
No, nothing going on.
Whatever.
The best detect
Well, I'm
magic.
gonna
He exploded, so everything that was kind of on him is just.
Yeah, I need
Hey,
that.
whatever. I mean, if there's anything salvageable that he stole, I want to
You
return
could
it to the shop.
You get a scroll.
He has
you
it.
could learn it.
The trinkets.
Like nothing he was
Then you can
wearing
buy a
could
pearl.
be returned.
Not anymore. It's all blown to shit.
I imagine in a school or in a town literally full of wizards, identify as essentially something available at a 7-Eleven. on the corner.
hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but pearls?
That's
You got money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not. Is it available? It's money.
Yeah.
There he is.
So
I'm a
well,
nickel and dime you this campaign.
is the black
Those
black
worth
rose-
100 gold. I don't have that much gold.
You better do some quests, boy.
I assumed it was a bar.
All right, so what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
Well, do we want to fucking wait until Percy opens up and tell him that some guy stole his shit?
Yeah, Percy.
It's
would know
about
this
2-ish.
Huh?
ring. Percy would know what this ring is.
He wouldn't know what this ring is, but then he'd probably want it back. But the next time we walk
Nah,
in,
because we caught the guy who broke in.
I mean, finders keepers. I mean, you can tell him that, right?
You'll believe me.
Worst case,
Worst case scenario, I give it back.
I mean, we literally have a hobgoblin corpse sitting here, like half of one, like pieces of one. So,
Like you don't owe me anything. Just let me keep the ring. But tell me what it is.
I caught the guy who broke in.
yeah, you fucking smash that window over there. What piece of shit.
And almost smashed that other one. That has cracks on it.
Yeah, yeah.
At the very least, we could leave a note. Come back in the morning.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, we could just. I don't have a package of sticky notes anywhere. Like I don't have.
I want to take a sample of this, whatever is on me.
I think
on the wall.
I went to the
Alright.
Inkwells
The
Academy.
purple?
I
Just write it
literally-
down. Yeah, write it
I
down.
literally have
I
18
have a
scrolls
file.
because
I do too.
I'm Inkwells.
You got stuff?
Yeah.
So you're gonna write a little note?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Am I limited on this?
I mean,
I'm not gonna make it.
no, but I mean, like, what are you saying, man?
I'm gonna say
Underneath the door.
Moonlight Marauders. No, I'm gonna sign Moonlight Marauders, but
Okay.
I'm gonna say like Percy.
Poufon.
Hobgoblin.
Okay, Percy
Oh.
Poufon.
Percy Poufon.
Yeah.
Hobgoblin was rummaging through your store. We caught him. He tried to flee. He exploded in the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
In your alley, there is a hobgoblin corpse.
Okay. After
Clean that.
It's not even whole. I can't use it.
after a couple minutes, you write it down
Sorry for the
and
inconvenience.
do you slide under the door? Or do you just attach it or?
I'll put it in the chest for my.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. So you go over with a drop and you dump it in there. All right.
You want to give him like any of the fucking knickknacks other than the ring?
I throw them all in there, but
Yeah, I was gonna say the
All
five.
of
You
the
said
ring?
you said like the 5 to 10 gold of knickknack
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah. You
We're
just
gonna throw
dump
them there,
them
yeah.
back in. All right.
Buy some goodwill.
There you go.
Goodwill is always valuable.
Always valuable. All right. Now after a minute. God, I'm getting that freaking light right behind you, Jake. It's blaring in my freaking face when I look at this. So you guys, after a few moments, what are you guys doing? It's about 3 a.m.
It's quite late. Nothing. Well, I mean, stuff might be open, but
I'd like to rest. 'Cause we didn't get a rest, right?
no.
I have like 7 hours.
Yeah, I'm at.
yeah, we should probably rest.
I just used.
I'm almost dead.
I've used a bunch of spells. So yeah, we can head back to either the battle bar. The battle bar's dope. Is that
Alright.
where Pug is staying?
Pug City would.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. We can go back to the battle bar.
All right, so you guys go about a 30-minute jaunt. Seems as if the streets are very quiet. On your guys' way back, you guys see some guards, about 3 to 4. They start making their way back where you guys just came. You notice that, we heard there was some sort of minor explosion over by the trade district. We got to make our way over there. You make your way through. You end up arriving inside of the battle bar. As you do so, you notice at this late hour, there's no fights, nothing going on. It is almost completely shut in other than a small light at the front desk. You see the same almost setup, although this time there's a small elvish lady. She seems to be quite old. You guys staying for the night? Well, we have free rooms tonight. There was a winner who paid off all the rooms and all the drinks with his winnings. So just please keep it clean. I'll give you 2 rooms and oh, are you the dirty dogs?
Who's asking?
I have a note here left that is from a Pug Jameson?
We know pugs. We are familiar with pugs.
I see. Well, here. And she kind of just, you hand it, you open it. As you open it, you see that Pug, it seems as if there's a letter, and it seems as if he's thinking of staying in some sort of, I don't know if it's some high roll. You're not quite sure. It seems as if he's gambled or something. He's left the battle bar.
Okay.
And he's not going to be back for about another day.
Okay.
So his 3 days has turned into 4, and he's probably going to be back at the battle bar another day, maybe 2. But he'll be back. You notice that the handwriting is a little off. You're not quite sure. He's not very, maybe, or it's just off. He's, I wouldn't say he's drunk. It's just not very precise. Like Todd, it's like
And
you don't really
it's weird
know.
that, like a gym cutter has like such unsteady hands.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's almost like he wrote it unsure of what to say, almost retracing some of his language that he had wrote previously. But you ascertained that it's a letter just saying that he'll be back later. He doesn't really say where he's going other than he's going to bed. Now, you guys go find your rooms, and upon doing so,
Have we ever seen Pug's handwriting?
no.
Okay.
You have seen only when you were in his house, but you guys were not. Only you were. So everybody else doesn't.
No way to like verify that it's actually Pug handwriting.
I've been paying attention to the.
Give me a intelligence check.
Oh, nat 20. So it's a 19.
So, you look at it, you're pretty sure that you saw his handwriting, and this looks a little shaky. Looks as if maybe someone was, either he was writing it in a haste, or, something, or maybe was drunk, or something. But other than that, as you guys stay for the night, you notice that you guys set in nothing odd, nothing different. You get cozy in your room. About an hour goes by, and then you quickly fall asleep. And Mr. Fuck This, I need you to give me a... let's do a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
If this is for corruption, wouldn't like charisma or wisdom be better?
No, not for this.
Nine.
9. So, as you go to bed, where do you have this gem in this box exactly?
And my backpack would be on the floor, like not
Next to you?
not on me.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so as you're lying down, you notice once again, you fall into a slumber, but it doesn't last long at all. Once again, as you do so, you toss and you turn, and after a little while, you fall into a very shallow sleep. And then you notice the all but familiar hellish nightmare start to slowly come back. You feel the heat start emerging, and at that moment, you feel not only the heat, but the darkness start coming in. And as around you, you turn, and as your eyes awaken, you feel yourself in this dream. Darkness flows around you, and then you see the red. The heat emitting again. As you turn, you see a large storm of fire once more. This time quicker than last time. No buildup. The body's already there. Your body standing, immediately looking up. You see a large vortex as it swirls around. It starts slowly making its way towards you. But as it does so, you notice this time it's a little faster. As you look upon it, you notice that it seems as if it is diverging everything else around and coming directly towards you. It stops about a mile, maybe half a mile away, hundreds and hundreds of feet, tall and wide. And as you look upon it, you see it and emitting like a large crackle throughout the sky of eruption with flames. You hear a large voice. Fuck this! You have something. You have something that I treasure, that I need, that I must possess. You feel the heat start bearing down on you. As you see this all around, you feel your body starts wanting to run away. What do? You see behind this large storm, once again, this large orange full moon. As it swirls within the burning land around you. What do?
I'm gonna scream, "What do you want?"
As you scream towards it, I want you to succumb to me. I want to become one. Come closer.
Turn and try to run, I guess.
All right, now, as you turn and you try and run, give me a strength saving throw.
18.
You notice that as you turn, the storm is too strong. You try and pull away from it, and you notice that the storm starts vortexing and pulling you in. You get pulled about 15 feet as your feet scrape along the hot dirt as he pulls you in, and as you scrape back. You must give in. I know what you possess. You see off in the very faint end, as you see the darkness swirling around you as the storm gets closer. Off in the ditch to the side, a large sword. As you see this, it shines brighter than everything around. It seems as if almost everything darkens around you. And then this one sword illuminates like a bright orangish red hue to it. You see it engulf in just a small flame for a second. Then you wake up. You jump out of this horrible trance. You come back to what you know to be you in your chamber. But this time, you're holding the gem. Hold it out of its chamber. And as you look upon it, you notice that the sweat and the moisture that is kind of like beating up around your palms. As you being, a dragonborn, the moisture is not necessarily coming from just inside of you, but from around the moisture of the condensation that this gem is having mixed with possible heat and the other blue gem that you have brought into this. You start seeing it and you notice that your palm, it starts almost like melding. You move, and as you wake up, you separate the gem from your one palm, and you see your hands are now, after holding the gem, like covered in this very thin, darkish, like red purplish tint that is underneath the skin, like speckles of this gem imbuing itself within you. And you take your third point of corruption. You feel this flowing within you, and you notice that your blood feels stronger. You feel as if you almost are invigorated. Heat that you felt in your nightmare of the hellish firestorm feel almost flowing within your veins a little bit. What do you do?
Me that can try to put it back, like put it away.
Yeah, you notice that it kind of is hard for a moment, but as you think about it, you can put it away. Put it away, and as you do so, you sit there. Notice that muscles are longer. Kind of take the rest of the night. You're going to take a point of exhaustion. You're not going to be able to sleep. But you notice that as you do this, you are definitely chained. You feel as if your strength and possibly something else is imbued within you. And I'll just tell you that basically that mechanically wise, when you are fighting within this and you keep taking these exhaustions, you'll be able to essentially gain your strength. So as you keep this gem with you, corrupting you, as you reach your third point, you're going to gain 2 points of strength. Just flat.
Can I go beyond 20?
You don't know yet.
You mean in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
That puts me at 20.
Yeah. So, and as you feel this, you also notice that your hands and part way up your wrists and your forearms are kind of imbued with like this crystalline, dark red hue to them. You're not quite sure what it is, other than your hands are just different. The golden scales are now just almost slightly red, and you can just see them, some of your scales are truly red. You change the back of your palm, still gold. The rest of you go throughout the rest of the night. Nothing changes. Nothing affects. Nothing is different. You guys wake the next morning. What do you guys do?
Did I get a rest?
Nope.
At all?
Nope.
So, exhaustion. If you have 1 point of exhaustion, you have disadvantage on all ability checks.
We should take you to that healer chamber.
I mean, that. Oh, yeah, because that just does. You're right. Not a bad idea. To do that.
You gonna go to a Rejuvenation Station? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the way out of the battle bar,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just ask, like a waitress, what's the Black Rose? Is that another tavern establishment within the city?
She looks at you. What you mean?
We met an individual who said that he spent time at the Black Rose. I'm not quite sure what that means.
It was the Black Crows.
Oh, okay, I misheard that.
But she doesn't know.
Okay.
Yeah, she looks at you. I'm not quite sure what you mean.
I'm gonna
Okay.
let them know in on the dream. Had the same dream. Nightmare. Tried to fight it. It's pulling me back, and it seems to be wanting to consume me. I feel stronger. Can you see it?
And as you guys look at him, you do see he is a little bit thicker. I mean, he's starting to beefcake it out a little bit, and you just see the
Well,
vascularity
he's still
in him.
pale and at 7 HP.
He is,
And
but
exhausted.
Yeah.
you don't notice it.
But this.
Yeah. Glowing.
Let me see that. What do you guys do?
Rejuvenation Station.
So, yeah, I mean, if you feel like shit, we should probably go take care of that.
Okay, so you guys make your way over to the Rejuvenation Station.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it's essentially just like this capsule, and it's like a slot that you can just pay to get healed and fully rested in a very short amount of time. It seems to happen within like 5 to 10.
Come on there.
There are people attending the station, yes.
Can I ask, like,
You see a small little like dwarvish lady. Yes.
do you have any ailments to help with exhaustion? This one time healed, is it?
Only thing that I can honestly tell you is I need a deep tank. Usually guarantee that will clear your exhaustion, but it usually cleanses any effects or anything that are on you. Just beware.
That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, that sounds dope. Yeah. Might cleanse your,
Cost it'll take about an hour and about 10 gold, but
Yeah.
we can done. I can prepare it.
Probably like offer some lay on hand services to the rejuvenation people, to heal people, to lower their
is
price.
that a euphemism?
Maybe.
Dwarven lady looking for
You want the tank?
No, Gilder doesn't
mean
realize
the-
how fucking weird
So-
this sounds. Like, he's just like,
So he starts preparing the deep.
Real quick before that, I'm gonna ask: is there any, say, magical items that have been corrupt? You know of any way to rid of corruption? Magical items?
Items.
student, so I'm
That's
just,
another
I'm
thing.
very, very curious.
Humanoids and creatures is one thing, but items and cleansing magical purposes is a whole nother beast. That is. Never really heard of it done. Once an item's enchanted or imbued with something, it's usually imbued for good. Only very high magic use something of its magical worth forever.
how about instead of removing it, sealing it, so it stops fucking
Same.
corrupting things
Sealing.
in its...
Depends on the power of the seal. If the power of the entity or the item or whatever is trying to be sealed, it will need a greater sealed magic. Cannot seal something with such a power with lesser sealant magic. It's like trying to put a 10-gallon bucket of water in a gallon bucket. Just doesn't work that way. Too much.
Is there anyone you know, maybe at school, that could shed some light on this topic?
The guilds. Head towards the guilds. As in Abazine, 3 prominent guilds. There's many lessers, but you might want to go and speak with them. There's many that could probably help you. You have the Inklings, Axe of the Void, and the Westonian Order. those 3 guilds may be able to help you, or at least find someone that can help you.
I'll take my sleep now.
Take the deep. You see her come over and she introduces you to the deep. Now, what are the rest of you doing?
I literally went, the guild may know, but then I spelled no, N-O, and I was like, damn.
That's okay, dude. You should see some of my D&D notes. It's spit like that.
I am off my ball. Fucking, we got an hour.
You got an hour.
What can I do in a fucking hour?
Inklings
Inklings, Acts of the Void.
at ACTS.
Acts of the Void, yep. And then Westonian Order.
I would like to purchase more vials.
Okay, so you guys would do that. That'll be about 5 silver. How many? You can get about 10 for 5 silver.
10 vials for 10 for some silver? Sure.
Those are pretty cheap. What are you doing, Godo, or anything?
I want to know if there's like magical cigarettes I can smoke
There are.
as a skeleton.
There are.
Yeah,
There are.
Oh,
I want some of that.
That'll be. It's a little expensive, but it's nice. It's a gold, but it'll give you about a month's supply.
So I'm getting like a carton.
Well, no, it's essentially basically like a little, almost like a miniaturized pipe,
Yeah.
and in the base of it, it's got this magical liquid that never really runs out. It's like a little
It's like the
glyph.
never-ending-
No, it's got a glyph in the very bottom of it, and as you tap the bottom, it like heats up this liquid that you're able to just puff on for a couple minutes before it stops, and then you tap it again, and it puffs in like a never-ending puff pipe. It'll last about 100 uses.
I'll get 2 of them.
Okay, so 2 gold. What colors?
Colors.
What colors do you want?
I don't know. What's available?
Anything.
Yeah.
Like this is a very like this is
This is a Gandalf.
this is an accessory
I'll
here.
I'll go with like
Purple and navy.
Ooh, those are good. Okay, so you
I
get
feel
a
like that's
purple,
very
and that's very Gildory.
death. Yeah, very death.
So you take a purple and a dark navy with like a frost blue little tip to it. You take both, and they are quite fragile. Don't break them.
I have a question.
Yes.
Fucking tattoo lady that I can't remember the name of.
Prada.
That's it. I knew it started with a T. She gave me a vial specifically to.
Get it.
Is this vial special at all?
It seems to be a little wider, and it's got a very, very good seal on it.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it looks as if it's a one-time seal. Like, whatever you put in there and close in there, that's it.
Okay. Fucking. Buy a bird? I want to buy a bird.
Just what I'm listening to when I'm
Yeah,
resting.
he's tanning in the deep bed.
He's getting his AirPods in.
Now, back to you while they shop. You're in here. As you enter, you are in for about 5 to 10 minutes. You realize it starts filling it up about halfway with liquid, and then you feel almost like a salt debris drop all over you, weighing you down, and then you start floating. You feel the buoyancy, and then in a moment, you feel this cold, electrifying water be brought in. After a minute, you notice the engraving of the name on your arm, Cassandra, starts hurting. Feel it. As it pulsates. It is unaffected. It starts almost burning deeper into your arm, changing color though. What was once almost like a dark blackish hue, kind of like carved into your forearm, is now almost like a lightish yellow green. Tried to have been healed, but failed. Lessened in color, not as noticeable, but still there. As you kind of feel that, you almost hear cryptics laugh like, the good try. The magic. Feel it tail off. You feel your rejuvenation of your health and the full rest of your exhaustion depleted. Everything else, and you're restored, is back to normal. You still feel cursed. You see your hands, though, while the rejuvenation in the pool's still shining. As it does so, you notice that the shards, almost slowly within that hour, down a couple more.
corrupt. Just
corrupt.
not exhausted.
You still have your 2. Anything else though from what you besides you get out and you feel like you just got, deep tissue massage throughout. You're stronger, you feel rejuvenated, but throughout the back of your mind, you're kind of getting this want. You want to hold it. You don't want it to be in this box. Funded as some sort of attachment. Kind of just in the back of your mind. It's not taking over, but you feel that. You guys all.
Did they take like my personal belongings?
Your bag was just next to your bag. Yes, you guys all have like your capsule. You brought all your stuff in the capsule and then got in the tank. So as you guys have done all this, you guys come out, you reconvene. What do you guys do?
I'm just smoking.
Kind of solved the murder.
Do we have an appointment?
No.
We were supposed to meet up with
We could stake
Denistine,
out Cassandra's.
Denistine.
Denistine made an appointment at the library.
Yeah, we're supposed to meet Denistine, and then
Do we have time to like
we might take a
stake out
You guys
Cassandra's
can
manor
do whatever
first?
you.
Let's go to the library. While I am at the library.
You guys are about.
You guys scope out the mansion.
You guys are about 45 minutes from Denistine. You guys are like on the other side of town. You're closer to the manor than anything else.
Mhm.
The library would be almost as far as Denistine's. About a 45-minute trip. That would be in the Scholar District. Right now, you guys coming back to where you were, you're more in like the Trade District.
Mhm.
So where do you guys want to go? You guys splitting up?
You wanted to go to the library. We could just go with Denistine. We could grab Denistine. He said he likes to take walks. Go for a walk. You just have to not get into any trouble.
All right, so you're going.
Oh wait, we don't need to speak with the dead anymore.
And we know who killed him. Yeah, the rocks guy. He probably has some information. How valuable the information is a whole different thing. So I mean, if you think, people dead would be nice. Pick up that spell. But it's not the only time we're gonna find a corpse.
Oh, 100%. It's just
Then you just want to go talk to Denison?
Speak together would be a little more comfortable.
Yeah, that is also true.
Denistine?
He wants to take a stroll by Cassandra.
Yeah. Okay. You guys heading back to Denistine's?
Yeah, he said that recall him saying that it was either going to be at her manor or in the forest, and he knew when the next meeting was going to be, or roughly. And he never told us when. He never gave us that information. So we had to talk to him anyway.
Alright, so you guys make your jaunt. It's about a 45-minute across Exwells and Alberzine. You guys go across the city, go up, knock on the outside. You see nice the elf that you guys were greeted by earlier. Yes. You guys back to see Mr. Alore? He opens the door, you guys walk in. He's still in the same manner in which he was. You guys walk in, he kind of stands up. Well, about 9 a.m. now. What have you found? It has been very long.
Well, we know the individual. We know who the individual that was killed. We know who killed him. We know who. We know that. Yeah, we know things.
Oh yeah, they had like a failsafe that like killed the guy in a giant bus explosion.
Yeah. So let's start from the top again. Yeah. We live a very interesting life.
He
I have
kinda-
a sample of it right here.
He looks at it. He takes it.
It's like purple and
Yeah,
pus
don't let that
blood.
touch you. It wanted
This-
to eat his bones.
Was from
Hobgoblin.
Who
And
said
this
he killed
hobgoblin-
somebody in some basement.
Killed a Rock's family member.
As he looks at it, you see him and he completely stops listening. And he goes over to one of his shelves. You see him take a number of vials and he starts just mixing things. And then you see him wave his hands over and a large, like, magical glyph comes over and you see the liquid turn into a bright purple. This has been magically corrupted. This was not a failsafe. That individual is actually, I think, maybe the poison we've been looking for all along. I've seen this once before, and he turns and he goes over and he grabs this large tray of plants. You see 3 of them are growing perfectly, and you see, look at this. I've been studying this for some time. The young tiefling Teldris. I saw some of his study. There were notes located in his room. It's off limits, but I went by there, snuck in. Saw that he mentioned something that they were messing with. It's killing off the vegetation. Small little sample. He pulls it out of his pocket. I've been holding on to this. And it's like a small purple crystal. I mean, tiny. And it's floating in a vial. Not touching any of the outsides or anything, just hovering inside. And you see him, and he just takes it inside the vial, near to one of the freshly growing plants, and you see it just start immediately, like, dying off and turning brown and rescinding, and then he pulls it away. He takes your vial. He takes it. He does it again, and you see the same effect. Who was in contact with the individual before he exploded?
It was a professor. The individual did not have a name. That it was a professor, and that the hobgoblin in question was recruited at the Black Crows, whatever that is.
On saying that, that was the secret poet society within the theaters. Black Crows, long time ago, used to be a theater group who turned rogue during one of their theater plays, killed, massacring everybody in attendance. It was no play that night. They went down, one of the darkest groups ever. They fled Exwell. They went to Ardre. It's odd that they're back here after so many years. Black Crows. You see him really ponder on this. He was hired by them. That's starts thinking. Rock's family, Professor, the Black Crows, Cassandra Volt. Could there be any connection?
So, out of character, at any point did the hobgoblin specify? He say he, like, as in the professor was a male? No.
Yes.
He did. So
Yes.
we know that it's not Cassandra Volt. So it's unless she did some crazy illusion shit. Which she probably can do. It's not immediately out of the question. We also know that upon meeting this Rock's family member, the hobgoblin was almost forcefully compelled to do the deed.
Oh, and Cassandra can definitely compel people.
Yeah. So I don't know if we've never seen her do it while she wasn't present. So.
think that we need to... We need to figure out. If we're not willing to tackle the Red Council, and we do not know Hobgoblin, excuse me. We have no other leads. Say we figure out what Cassandra's really. I say we head there tonight. See what's happening. I'll go with you. Stake it out outside. We knock on that. She doesn't answer. Anyway. I'm tired of it. If I lose, and he looks down at his orange robes, he kind of holds on to him for a second. If I lose when I've worked so hard, any of you require, possibly save something from happening. That is what I think. If we are in the dark constantly, how are we ever to act accordingly? We're always on the back foot. I've been trying for 2 years to see and figure out what she is doing, and I've been failing. I now come to you, and you have figured out murder within hours. You have figured out and ascertained as much as I've known in 2 years, months. I may not call you students for long.
Oh, yeah, this corruption's getting worse too. Probably we should mention that.
That is one puzzle we are having a hell of a time.
I only think... Yeah. If we spoke to a different... If we sought one out, there's not one in Hex. Well...
Just Jameson. And he's pretty fucking...
We actually currently don't know where he is.
I'm wondering if
Worrisome.
It's somewhat worse.
the corruption in this this gem that I possess is purple as well. Could it be the same?
Could be.
It seems so evil.
All I know of these gems is the myths that I was told. You're going to need to go to the libraries, seek knowledge there. If you head to the ancient library of Exwell, you may find knowledge about these gems. If there's anything that can be found, it is either there or in the great vaults of the Rocks family. There many secrets are kept from many of the years and even of the surface. That's all I know. So, I have 2 classes that I must be teaching. We are going to group and go after Cassandra's tonight. I think we should do so under the fall of night. And we should have a plan and be ready to break in and be ready for whatever waits within her manor. It's quite big. We may never know what lies inside. We are doing this. I must know, as I will not have much time to prepare. If we are waiting, and we are going to try and infiltrate another task, I must know now.
Well, we'll spend the day at the library. And then we'll do the thing.
Fine to me. The question is shall we inform the heretics? If they...
That is up to you. I do not work very closely with them. They are more of an independent group that I do not hold a lot of trust in. There's very few heretics left. They did. They also
directly their fault.
And they also unable to acquire new members. It's odd. They've been two heretics. Alondra and Orion. That is the only two I have known of for at least the last 15 years. Why they have never recruited is beyond me. Why they do not grow their numbers and strength. But I must go teach. Travel and learn what you must at the libraries, and be ready to go tonight. We break in, or we confront Cassandra, one or the two. Be ready, do not fail me. We're in this together. I must be ready to know that you are ready to break in. It will be an act of crime. But understand that if we do it correctly, and we are right, something is going on. They save part of Exwell and even further part of the Cloud region. Now,
Oh yeah, plus I forgot. I'm pretty sure if we get in physical contact with her, we can kind of just teleport her to Cryptic, worst case scenario.
she just looks at you. I don't know of this dark magic or this curse that you speak of, but listen. If I am caught in a manor and you all are teleported out and I am left by myself,
I mean, I'm pretty sure we
listen.
can take you.
I know I am laying my neck out for you. We gotta work together. Let's come to a common truth. If I go to you, and I go to Cryptic, I have done many good things. Maybe judged differently than you. Do not wish to go see him.
Hilariously, everyone on Cryptic's hit list are bad people.
Then we shall cross that bridge when we get there.
Which is kind of weird.
He turns.
Not all of them.
I'm going to
Majority of them.
pursue my classes. I have young ones that are waiting. You see, one of the elves is waiting at the door, like motioning, like he's already running. Okay. Till tonight, telling you. Meet outside my manor. Shall head there under the cover of dark. See him walk, and he briskly leaves. You guys are ushered out of the room. You guys are outside, waiting inside Albertine. You guys going to the library?
Yes, sir.
Let's get to the ancient Exwell library that lies. It's about a 30-minute walk. Upon doing so, it's about 4 stories tall. These huge, large pillars. The entire building is built in marble and stone. It's very elaborate. Now, up front you see statues of past predecessors, elaborate decorated. And then you see the Red Council. You notice that the headstones that lie beneath these, the years just go on and on. And you notice that they've been in rule for upwards of 70 to 75 years, the entirety of almost the Cloud region's like birth, like almost longer than the average human. And you notice that most of these individuals are human. The average life, they would almost have been in this at an early teen or infancy age to have been still in office. If you guys look at this, that is oddly striking. As you look around, you notice that they are adorned in red robes, and you guys walk up the stairs and you walk in. You're met by a tiefling individual. He has a long tail that is stripped back. How may I help you? Welcome to the ancient library. What are you looking for, or how can I help your query?
Books on the School of Necromancy.
Turns. The aisle F through 104. Anything else?
Yes. I actually seek any knowledge regarding any pantheon that may be within.
Excellent. Or
It's been prevalent, the world. Specifically, any stories regarding sealing or containment deities.
lead you to the Isle of Hall. Yeah, any story. You see 2 individuals come out from behind the desk and they both lead you. Is there anything we can help you with, sir?
Possibly 2 things. Well, magical items, specifically corruption of magical items.
Dark arts possible. Or maybe the corruption of one's soul, or the corruption of items specific.
Item specific.
Items specifically, and another individual comes out. We can also take you to others if you wish so. Now, as you guys break off, you notice that this library is insanely massive. Magical doors that kind of open and bookcases that levitate and float and rotate. As they hover above each other, no space is wasted in this. Many scriptures are unrolled, keeping them perfectly flat, not wasting any space stacked, but perfectly separated with some sort of magical incantation or glyph, keeping things hovered perfectly. As you guys walk around, things are kept in a perfect state. Now, Gildor, your book of necromancy. An individual leads you down, and you see a lot of books. Give me a investigation check if you are really digging deep, or just a perception check if you just want to glance at the book.
I'm digging deep.
Digging deep. All right, give me an investigation. I'll let you really. Oh, that's a nat one. So that's a good thing I gave you advantage.
Rolls a 2.
Okay.
Plus 8.
Ooh, 23. So, if you look around, you see a couple. You notice that there are a couple of dark magic, necromantic beginners, dummy for necromancy, but then you come one seems to have aged quite something. Used at some point. But a little dusty, not have been cleaned, not quite something. As you pull it back, you see on the binding, you kind of wick it across. Trayer of flesh. Pull it out, look at it, and it's insane.
It's like a.
At least probably 3-4 inches in just binding without cover included. It's got a steel lock kind of latched around it, embedded with like a gold and copper sealant that kind of etches up and around and locks on it with a little swivel lock. As you look at it, spend a good 5-10 minutes kind of glancing it over. You notice that it definitely has things in it that are teachings of necromancy spells. Things in nature that are possibly secret and underlying to the origins of witches, becoming a witch. Pathways into maybe even seeking out great power, controlling dark powers. And then you, excuse me, sir, go. Perusing will cost you if you are going to check out that book. You can take it, but we're going to need you to spend a little bit of coin to be able to peruse any longer.
Oh, I'm gonna check this book out.
If it'll be at the front, we're going to need about 25 gold for that book. Keep it as long as you wish, but we're going to need it brought back when you are done with it. And then you see the individual leading you back. Now, Orim, you are looking for, what was it?
It's anything to do with the containment or sealing of deities or great beings of power.
Okay, so you're brought into basically.
I should clarify, specifically outside the common understanding of magic, if not leaning more towards the divine side of magic. If that makes a difference.
I got something. All right, give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Because you would beep, hoping to find something.
Fucking 9.
Look, an hour or two goes by. Stumble across what looks to be a lesser deity book. The commonality and different things that have to go by, things that align with different planes. You stumble through. You think it kind of is used at the beginning, but after kind of digging and flipping through for a little bit, you see that there's a common, let's say, speaking of this sealing of great power that happened a very long time ago, coming before the Cloud Regions. This sealant of a great deity that was locked away, bringing fire to the lands that was burning, cascading across everything. A certain Rennoc sealed it away. You know this to be Draconius Rennoc just by the phrasing. You discern that as you look further into this, that you notice that there is also something that goes on about how there was also dragons and individuals that possibly fought alongside. You're not quite sure if they're dragons or individuals. The referencing kind of goes back and forth. The book seems to be either misunderstood or misinterpreted as it speaks of certain names. As you look around, you notice that there's names that go on. And as you look, you see these. As you dig really deep, you notice that there is a name of Alore, Iridum, Azantag, Leonor, and Restaurant. And you see at the very bottom of this book, Party of Dereverence. And you see that there is a great sealant spell that was cast close to 100 to 200 years ago that supposedly sealed away some great power. And then at that moment you see the individual will be enough perusing, sir. Just to check out that book. We can meet you at the front. Will be about 15 to 20 gold. Have it as long as you wish, but the ancient books.
It detailed that a spell was cast. It doesn't
Or-
contain the spell. Okay.
Not that you can see, at least,
Okay.
or at least up until this point, but some great group or cataclysmic spell was cast, sealing away something of immense power.
Yeah, I'll check in.
All right, you searching for dark items. You go through. Give me an investigation check. Nothing.
Not an advantage.
No.
Not
So
proficient,
you're searching
gain intelligence.
through.
I can't even
You're
read.
looking,
Why
and
do I have just like
you find a book on what looks to be something of dark items. You look through it. All that you really ascertain. Give me an intelligence check.
This is the book dog, ravens, feathers, shadows, dark hair. This is a book about
You
stuff.
look and you ascertain that dark evil is bad.
dark?
Where are the pictures?
You think that it might have something to do with what you're dealing with, but you're really not sure. You see some pictures of people literally having a horrible life, and you hope that's not yours. After about 20 minutes, excuse me, sir, that book is upside down. if you'd like to actually read it properly, I can help you with it at the front desk, and we won't charge you because I feel a little bad. I've been watching, and I haven't said anything.
He just sit there like,
Yeah.
really?
At this point, I'm wondering if it's safe to let you wander these halls alone. You know where you are.
Oh yeah. Or a library.
Okay.
Okay.
Making sure. Now. And he kind of takes the
say
book,
like Exwell or something.
and he kind
Instead
of
of-
just turns it right side up, and now you literally see that like it's really awful. Dark magic seems really bad. As you look a little bit longer, he turns. You can bring this with you if you wish, and he kind of just puts his arm around you, and he turns. He just wanders off, and he sees a couple others, and you guys all make it to the end. Now you guys have some money to be paid. You have 25 gold to be paid for your book. You have 10, as you see rung up. You have none. The guy comes up, he's like, We just want him out of these halls.
Don't
Don't let him touch any more of the books, or they may not be intact
Give
for
him
much longer.
a star sticker. He's like, buddy.
Do we have any picture books or rip out paper notebook? So, do you guys have the money? I know you guys don't, so you're gonna need to maybe
I have the money.
yeah, but Gilder doesn't.
Yeah, I'm asking fuck this for some money.
Why they need to hear that? Yeah.
I'll lend you money if you help me decipher this
Can you read me a bit?
I will read you that
dark magic.
He got the dark magic for dummies book, and it's like the little guy on it.
How much do you have?
I have 11.
You list off a list of names that may or may not have been dragons. I only got Tesalor, Leonor,
Azalor,
Yeah.
Leonor,
Leonor,
Azentags,
Azentags,
Azentag. Sorry, Azentag.
Azan.
Give me here.
Azantag,
Give me a
yeah.
round up for you.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying.
got you.
Azantag,
I got you.
Azantak,
Kind of. What are you guys doing?
and then restaurant. Something like that.
Got you.
314.
I got Taser. I got Leon. I got restaurant. I got Azantak.
Xanax, and what was the other guy?
You know he said the Aztec name? Remember that like really shitty TV show where the main character was like literally just an ass?
No.
Like it was on Adult
So
Swim.
anyway,
It was
what are you guys
awful.
doing? You guys want to fast travel into your meeting? Are you guys buying your stuff? You guys
I
doing
want to
anything?
study the book while we wait.
Okay, so you have about 5 hours
Rest-
until
rest-
nighttime.
Restaurant.
Anything else? Restaurant.
Restaurant.
So is this like a spell book or a study book?
From what you can tell in 5 hours, you get through about 10 pages, as this is thick text, heavy, no pictures for the most part. As you look through, give me an intelligence.
A random.
Give me an intelligence check, and this can be an advantage because you guys are just chilling out.
28.
This is one of the possible greatest, because you had a really good investigation check. This book hasn't been opened in a long time. You think you may have actually stumbled. You like flip through a couple pages after the first 10 years, like, this is legit. Like, whose book was this? Like, Betrayer of Flesh. You see no writer, author, but the knowledge in this is very true, and even possibly more in depth. You see that there is definitely incantations that can, like, deep spells. But stuff that possibly isn't even known, and for Exwell that's just been lying in this book. Flip back through and you get deep into those first 10 pages. You reread them, making sure you know exactly what is going on. And you're able to understand that this book is almost like an introductory to lichness of being the most badass ever known. And not only that, but almost like the origin tale of possibly one of the first liches in the known history. Somehow this book traversing down onto pages way before anything like this could have been put to a page. And you're just enthralled. The rest of you wait, hanging out.
I would also read more book.
Okay, so you basically ascertain that the book that you have, this group of Dereverants, thing happened. It was a great build-up. You get through, 10, 15, 20 pages and realize that this group was not only great purveyors and surveyors of the land, but they were heroes. They were people who sought out to make the world better. Not only better for themselves, but for everyone. And they went out of their way to do so. And then at some point, a great catastrophe, calamity came upon them. And you see, as you start ending your reading, that a huge decision needed to be made that chose them to either be locked away and separated from this plane or reality, or stay here and risk losing what you have protected this entire time. The entirety of possibly not only the Cloud regions, but Aldris and possibly the rest of Capula. something was of great catastrophic power that it was able to amass that much fear in this amazing, powerful group of adventurers, that it was able to bestow so much fear in them that they had to sacrifice possibly. This was the group that was able to do so. Within them, you see that there was things that required. People that worked with them, that imbued them with things that are almost like things that don't even quantify in your brain at first, but you see the story and how it was enacted out, and you're like, that was real. Take this almost for like every word it is, and you realize that some of these people here in Exwell, and a lot of them worship a lot of draconic deities, whether good or evil. And some of them take these very much for what they are to be true and lead their lifestyle this way. And you see that this party did so verbatim. A lot of them dealt with their own draconic deities. So almost, each one of them going down different paths. One seemed to be a healer, one another a warrior, another caster, a mage, with different elements imbuing, and then that's where you guys kind of cut off before you can kind of go through your book. As you get a little bit of help with some of his time, you realize that not only is this dark magic something that is like a long curse that maybe isn't something that you can dispel immediately, but something that maybe is something that maybe is almost over time in multiple attempts, something that you can ascertain how to break down. You find nothing other than that each magical item has its own curse imbued. That depending on each curse and where it was brought from, who it was given by, that's how you're going to figure out how to break. So the curse brought to you by Cryptic, you don't know the entirety of it, but you know that he holds the true reason how to break. Until you break it, you won't know. Same with whatever this gem is. Keep falling down this rabbit hole, but you're not quite sure how far the rabbit hole goes until you go down the hole. That's about all you kind of gather from how the dark magic works, is that the deeper you go, the darker it gets. You can't really get away from it. It's almost like an ever-ending addiction. It feeds on itself, digging deeper.
In no ways, this book told how to rid of corrupted items.
Not from your couple hours of reading. No, not with your intelligence. You're and especially with his help, after him reading, you guys make it through maybe a first 50th of the book. I'll say, for all of you, if you want to read these books entirely, except for your two books, probably going to take at least 48 to 2 to 3 days of solid reading to fully understand. Now,
How long for me?
maybe years. This thing is yeah. Dude, it's oh man, it's in depth. So, is there anything you want to do before your meeting with Denistine?
I'm doing it.
Is there anything we need to
Doing it.
I'm good.
Are you guys all good with going over it?
Yeah.
It's not late, but I'm just making.
I'm Python.
It might have. Anything you guys want to do?
I'm reading.
Okay, so you guys read. It starts to become dusk. At this point, you guys start making your way towards Denistine's Manor. You guys make it to the Council of the Collective. And at this point, you see he's waiting outside. It seems he's spry and ready. He's got a staff ready, and I've been ready. I've been waiting. He sees you guys are ready, so are we prepared?
I'm still smoking. So it's yeah.
Are we all going to go in at once? Or are we going to possibly just scope out the place, get an idea of what's happening?
To be honest, we have the sneakiest bunch.
kind of up to
I can
you.
change that.
Yeah, pass without trace.
I can
How-
pass without trace.
How affiliated, being a member of the school, how affiliated do you want to be?
At this point,
We could just act as young students if we really want.
Well,
do you want to go by
Well,
yourselves?
I'm gonna be honest. Breaking and entering probably isn't gonna be dumb students. It's a
Well,
criminal act. Yeah.
If
You
it
say
gets to
she
the-
knows you. If she's there, you break in.
Oh, that she's also attempted to kill us.
I mean,
Isn't that what we're there to find out?
I thought the plan was to walk up, knock on the door to see if she was even home. She's home.
Oh, I said if she's not home, going in.
But what if she is home?
Breaking it.
Oh.
Then
Oh,
we ask her
misunderstood.
what is happening with her supposed scholar academy she's creating. When we know that there are, she looks, or and you see him look, odd things happening.
The last time she teleported us. Blew us up and teleported us.
No.
Well, we're in Exwell. Her city, or her house lies within the city. She does so, but just hide that. I think that if we catch her at her house, may be advantageous for us. Or possibly not.
Biscuit to you, the biscuit.
And we won't know till we're there. Go in there.
Yes.
And he perks up real quick and he grabs his staff, throws his robes behind him, and you guys start making your way down. Very dark. You guys travel for about 40 minutes till you make it to a housing district. Upper tier, but there's a gate. You see Alore walk up, talk to a couple guards. You're unable to hear what he says. You see Alore motion you all through. You guys get near to him. Told them that we are here on business. We have a meeting with Cassandra. I told him it would only be a minute. You're leaving. They suspect anything. And then you guys make it your way through and then he starts, alright, let's just go. Now, figure out exactly if anybody's stealthy.
Make us stealthy. No singular proof. The closest thing we have to a stealthy guy. Currently simping for.
Well, whatever we got is better than nothing. He looks, I'm not the best at this.
What's everybody got? I mean, you have disadvantage on stealth checks. I can.
I'm not exhausted.
No, you're wearing heavy armor, aren't you?
Yes.
You're wearing chainmail?
Yes.
Yeah. You have advantage for the stealth check. I mean, I can cast Pass Without a Trace and make us all plus 10. What is your plan? A single individual or is going in as a group?
If we go up, we do at least check out the windows. If we can at least hide or maybe figure out what's going on inside the building before we go up and just, or if there's nobody inside, maybe we don't even use the door.
I'm gonna cast mage armor.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Pass Without.
Yeah, so you guys, when you guys kind of blend in with the terrain around you, you guys walk down the streets of Albertine. You guys blend in with some of the buildings. You guys wander about 5-10 feet close to the building. As you guys get closer, you notice that it is a large building next to many next to. You see that they are about 10 to 15 feet apart, most of these buildings, and her building is about at least 2 stories tall. You go up next to it, you see windows on the side, and a porch that wraps all the way around the entirety of it. Look up on it, all the lights are out. nothing. Seems to be completely quiet. See nothing, and as you walk up, everybody give me a perception check.
18.
That's a shit.
Fucking 15.
Alright. The rest of you guys walk up. Theodore. You notice that the entire house on the inside, from what you can just see basically walking in, and on the outside is unkept. Looks undisturbed even. Just there's cobwebs all over the door. As you get closer, they kind of thicken up a little bit. And you notice that if anybody was actually using the door, it would definitely have broken cobwebs, but they are built up. Been using this. No lights. Some of the drapes that are kind of like falling a little bit. Doesn't seem that anything has been maintained in quite some time. The rest of you don't really see anything other than a dark room. It's a dark house. What do you do? Make your way up. You knock on the door.
As he does that,
You hear the neighbor's dog bark, but other than that, nothing.
I was gonna say, no, nothing happens.
No. You wait a minute. You hear nothing.
I'm gonna wild shape
Okay, what are you
Wild shape?
shaping into?
into a spider, a
Ooh.
normal tiny little spider.
So you
Normal
all see
spider.
just
Yeah,
into this little
But
spider.
this just like
Is it a spider or a
Where the
clockwork spider?
it's a regular spider. It's 100% a regular spider.
It just rips down.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're on the porch.
I'm tiny. Am I able? Is there?
Crack under the door.
Yeah.
Yep. You see if there's a little. Yeah. So you're just a wooden door. You can definitely make it under.
Yep. Cool. I'm gonna do that. So I'm going. Yeah, I'm gonna. And on to that.
All right. So and you make it and go underneath and look around. There's just a tiny bit of lighting that you can see letting in the windows that don't have completely drapes over them.
Mhm.
Stuff is dusted. Doesn't look like anything touched in quite some time. Just remnants of things. Nothing though seems food that seems to be almost.
Then I'm. If this is just kind of near like the entranceway, I'm gonna continue. Is there any? You said it's 2 stories.
Yeah, you see
Okay.
a door. As soon as you walk in, you see
Open the door.
you see a room to your right. You see a room to your
Yeah,
left,
it's fine.
and then you see what looks to be like a stairway right in front.
I'm going to. I'll start with the first floor. I'll go left.
Give me a investigation or a perception, whichever one. Perception if you're looking, or investigation if you're like really.
I'm a spider, so I can't really do a whole lot of digging.
Right.
So I'm gonna do.
What you
perception.
perceiving? Yep.
I'm better at perception. Fucking 9.
Okay, so you walk into the first room. You look
Mhm.
around. It's just the empty room. A little bit of furniture, but from what you can tell,
Mhm.
dining room maybe, but undisturbed. Hasn't been
Okay.
touched. Cobwebs everywhere. Dust thick on all the table.
so however long it takes, like after like 5 minutes, I want to try the door.
So you go. You got enough. That took you maybe 30, 40 seconds. And you go over and you look at it. And you can kind of come back here in the main hallway.
No, all right.
So you go over to the other way. To make your way. Look around. Give me a perception check.
Better. Oh, that's much better. 19 plus 8. 27. All right.
You see something on the wall. You look around, tons of dust. You see on the wall leading through what looks to be something along the wall that is almost like got a crease in it. Seems to be a false wall. You almost spot it out immediately. Slightly ajar. It's not completely flush up against it. Then see a couple footsteps, and then you see another little, I don't want to say like a false door, but essentially like a piece of the wall where it just slides the bruise on the side of the wall where it's been worn from sliding back and forth. You notice this. See completely everything else dusted, covered, but you see a small entryway side of the house where it looks back. Another secret.
I'm not gonna try and go through this door. I'm actually gonna go back to the main hall, start climbing.
So make your way, go up the stairs, and as you do so, you see that there's a second story. No light coming in, and at that point, your way up, waiting. You now, Gildor, are you coming up with him?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys both wake up or walk up, and as you do so, in the door. Go. Cool. You going in?
Cautiously.
All right, so you very slowly pull it open and you look, and it's dark. You break away, come in this cobwebs, and you see spiders just skid around, and you kind of walk. Just be in there. Nothing seems to be going on. Denistine, you see.
I can see through the dark, but
Nothing. You hear him kind of come up behind you. What's inside of you? So, you walk inside.
Can I check,
Gildor, you guys all go in? You're in? And you're in.
can I
Everybody.
check for traps?
Yep. Give me investigation or perception. Perception just to see if there's anything
I'll
off.
do investigation.
Yep.
Not 20, so.
Nat 20.
Oh my god.
28.
Now, as you guys look around the doorway,
I've nat 20.
you
but
don't
every
see
investigation.
anything, but you do notice there are somewhat of like magical glyphs. You see that there are some, and as you look, you notice some are for lighting. They are very common, but you see others, something else. Not quite sure exactly what they're for, but you notice there are magical incantations.
Can I attempt to turn on the lighting glyphs?
Yeah, so you reach over and you touch what you believe to be the lighting glyph, and as you do so, the whole first floor. I would say that it would be in common or human. They say common tone, nothing crazy. I mean,
Like glyphs that I can recognize, read, or like no.
the ones that are on the other side. Give me an Arcana check.
Should I also do an Arcana?
Yeah. You guys both see these.
21.
Oh, good. That's intelligent.
These look to be like some sort of, let's say, spell that kind of darkens everything, closes blinds immediately, like looks as if it is almost like a darkening, hindering spell, one to hinder view from outside in. It hasn't been activated in quite some time. You see that there's
I'm
dust
gonna
built up.
attempt to turn that on.
So you go and you press it, you feel the dust, but you go through, and as you put your hand over, you see all the drapes and everything completely try and close. See, some are broke off their track, they extend and close the best they can. Now the room is completely pitch.
Well, besides the light.
Right, but I mean like from outside in,
Yeah.
everything is completely blacked out. Nobody can see in, nobody can see out.
Nice. Perfect, because we're breaking into the town.
I'm closing the door behind us.
Alright, so you close. What are you doing? You guys are in now. Spider-Man, you're up at the second level. You do so, you hear this door click at this point behind. You're up here. Give me a perception check
They turned on the lights.
for the first floor.
15 plus 8, 23.
Not too much up here. If it's almost storage. Look around. It'd just be a bunch of knickknacks, nothing crazy. Possibly nothing close from. Then looks as if I've been stowed up here, but other than that, nothing really about.
So if that's the only room upstairs, it exploded yet? No. Stop being a spider.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
come back out. You hear your footsteps of him up above, and then come back down.
Yeah. As I'm walking down the stairs, There's nothing upstairs. There's a secret door over in this room, though.
See Denistine. Secret door?
Yeah.
Check it out. Yeah. So, who first? I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
And he makes his way over.
Don't just open it. Check the traps, dog.
He looks around.
This guy.
You notice that he looks kind of intently. It might be okay. He goes over and puts his hand on the side. He pulls on it. It kind of barely starts moving on the track. But then after a moment, he... and you see it just... and it slides open. There's a tunnel away. See, it's about 5 to 6 feet height, maybe 2 feet width. Pretty narrow. Leads down. Almost like pretty steep. You see a spiraling stairwell that kind of goes down and then drops off.
Okay, before we go down there, I want to see if there's like a bedroom with like or a study.
There's not.
It's not.
There's what you can tell to be like a dining room, a storage room, or something upstairs. Left, I'd say like a kitchen. You see a couple like bedrooms off to the side, and then from what you can tell, there doesn't look to be anything other than maybe like a small little like.
I'm looking for like a desk with maybe like a journal on it.
No, not from what you can tell. Anything. You find a couple desks, but nothing with journals or papers or anything.
Do the bedrooms look lived in?
Nope. Everything is covered in dust, cobwebs. Nothing looks like it's been touched in.
I
very
mean, like,
long
is
time.
like, are the beds made like they left?
They are made, but nothing is.
Okay, so there's
undisturbed.
no like disturbed, but just been left alone a long time.
Yes.
Vibes.
Like someone almost moved in and then never touched anything after they moved in.
Go down the tunnel.
Okay, so you guys going down? Alright, so you guys make your way down. After about a 5-minute spiral down, you notice that something kind of changes in the air, becomes musty and dark. Then after a few moments, make your way down. Alright, so you guys make your way down, and as you do so, you see this stairwell. Then make it into this opening, where as you look around, you see 3 doors. You see one to your right, you see one in front of you, and one immediately to your left. You notice that there's this stale smell, and that there's cobblestone throughout this area. If you look around, you see that this area is quite traveled. You notice that there's dirt traveled from outside as you walk down. You see that Denistine, as he stands a little bit behind you, I think I should maybe watch in case someone comes.
No.
Me to come down. Slowly makes his
Well,
way.
that, and if you also shut the secret door behind us, even if somebody walks in.
He turns and he, right, and he closes the doorway behind him. He then makes his way down the stairway.
Did you pass without trace?
Yeah, it's still up for another. I mean, if that took all of 15 minutes, another 45 minutes, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's up for at least 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, as you guys make your way through
Does
here,
that mean we wouldn't have left like footprints in the dust?
That's exactly what
Yep.
it means.
so, what do you guys do? You guys are now in this doorway. Give me perception checks if you guys, or investigation.
I'll do investigation because I'm lucky if I say that.
12
18.
perception.
15 perception.
Alright, so you guys just kind of look around the room. Other than these 3 doorways, you don't really see too much else. You notice that the doorway to your left, this way, seems to be slightly ajar, now that you're really looking. Very dark in here, and other than your dark vision, you have no other light source. You barely kind of see what's in front of you as you move around.
Are there like torches on the wall?
Nope.
Footprints on the floor.
You see some that lead directly in front towards the main door in front of you. You see some that kind of lead off to the right, but none to the left.
But the left door is a door.
What do you guys want to do?
So there's footprints leading to one door, but then there's another door that is already ajar.
You got a door that's ajar, footprints, both of those doors.
Straight and right.
Okay.
Go to the ajar door.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, so you guys make your way around. You start making your way over to the ajar door. Now, as you guys do so, you want to open it? You want to peek inside? You kind of peek past it. You see a long corridor that kind of opens up. The hallway, and then you see it bend down to the right.
Footprints.
No. Go on. Yeah.
I'm following.
You go here. Here. Just say we go like this. You guys make your way down. Now, if you go to about here, you need a dexterity saving. So you notice that there's something that comes out of the wall, and as you do so, you jump back. And you see both sides of the walls almost illuminate like this blue glyph. You see it illuminate from the top to the bottom, and after about a second delay, cold wave of ice bursts. You jump back and you dodge it. And after another second, when it seems to be now just active right in front of you, just pulsating back and forth.
Like, is it timed? Like,
It seems every second you just get it pulsating both from the sides of the wall. Like a cold wave of just ice magic.
I'm resistant to cold. I can also teleport.
Gee, Denistine. What are we doing in here?
So I'm gonna go through when it, like right when it goes.
Right, so you see it go, boom, and then you step through. Give me an acrobatics check.
19.
Alright, so you
Plus
step
one,
by,
20.
and then you, and you step right through. And you make it through. Skates. You feel the cold kind of emanate, but then you go by just quick enough. You're fine.
Can I investigate the glyphs to see if I can turn them off?
Yep.
19.
You look at them. Give me an Arcana check. You definitely think that there's a way to possibly take these
21.
down. As you look at them, you think that if you had a strong enough heat source or something that maybe was able to block the glyph from maybe seeing the other glyph, you might be able to break up part of the spell or something.
The floor is stone.
Yes. Everything around you, from what you can tell, is either stone or some sort of like concrete.
You can try to breathe fire. I mean, I do have firebolt, and I'll test firebolt before we use breathe fire.
Sacred flame too.
You firebolt the wall,
Yeah,
so you just go on top of the glyph.
it's like a little thing of fire.
Yeah, and you just see it, and it just kind of dissipates, and you see the glyph. Dissipation, you see the one glyph subside, the whole side of the wall just stops. Now only part of the one side is pulsating out, and it doesn't seem to be nearly as strong. There's definitely a side on the left side you guys can go. So, you guys make your way
Go
through.
till it defrosts.
Alright, you guys make your way up and around with everybody going to about here. Up until when you guys is the down this hallway. As you do so, you see here there is an opening. As you do, you notice that there's a pillar, and at the end of the room, you see an arrangement of crates. You notice that there's something on the walls. You see tons of like sludge, almost like a dark mud, or something that is like encased on the walls all around, right in here. You see it just covered within most of this cavernous. Though it completely darkened, you notice that it is caked within all of the brick, all of the mortar, and everything on the wall.
Well, I and him don't need to breathe. This is like magical black mold.
Does not seem to be that.
Let's just go. That's good. We're gonna go.
You create, wait, hold on.
I mean,
Where you going? You going up?
I'll wait for them.
Yeah, you said there's mold all over the walls?
Looks not like mold. It looks like something dark, maybe brown to dark brown. It's covered. It's not like seeping or really moving, but it's kind of definitely almost has like a wet look. It's just kind of
Like a mud?
Kinda, yeah.
I'm gonna use Mage Hand. It's actually one of my new incantations. And I'm gonna use it to see if I can scrape some mud off the side of the wall.
Okay. As you go and you form this hand, you reach out with it, kind of go and you start crusting part of it, and as you do so, you see it. It's moving. You notice that it starts forming. You see the room, the rest of the dark. You see it start pulling, almost forming together. These large, wet forms of almost like mud and dirt start forming. Denistine turns. What is going on? You see it starts congealing and forming right about in this area. You see this mass. You see this mud, and all of it start compiling together. You see two stumps, and then it starts building up. In a moment, it seems looks to be the outline. You start seeing it form before you slowly. And then after a moment, it solidifies. You see it dripping as it moves around. Then you see glyphs glowing on both of its wrists on each side of it. You see as it once pulses and then the whole figure solidifies. As you look upon it, you notice off in the distance, everybody give me a perception check.
23. 28.
15.
You definitely see this forming. A large earth, or some kind of earth, elemental. You see it form, and as it does so, it reaches down. The mud that it forms around it, it hurls into this large ball. As it does so, it reaches back looking forward as if it is going to throw it towards you. And that's where we're going to stop. So next week, we're going to pick up with you guys in Cassandra Volt's secret basement with this large earth elemental muck thing fucking with y'all.
Outfit from the legend.
And that's where we'll pick
Or
up.
a gem from Smite.
That's all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that's where we'll pick up there.